Hello, Dee. How are you?
Hi, good. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you as well. Can you tell us your full name and what do you do?
My name's Dea Vise. I've heard all the jokes about what kind of device are you. It's spelled DEA Vice, which makes it worse. Because if you call the police, they're like, "What part of the DEA do you work for?" But that is my name. So it was comedy or porn, and I ended up doing comedy as an actor, but now I'm a casting director
All right. And how long have you been a casting director
for
for?
25 years.
25 years. Okay. And why did you pick casting?
Well, I started out doing it as a day job as an actor. And don't do that. If you're an actor and you want to be an actor, don't go into casting because you will end up a casting director for sure. I mean, it's just, that's what happens. But so I ended up doing commercials for Japan with a woman named Susan Havens. And we did tons of commercials for Japan, which were models and 30-year-old white guys with fake bellies that were comedians, and a lot of celebrities. So I got to know a lot of the celebrity agents that way.
Okay. And some of the TV shows or movies you worked on?
I just did a movie called Dog Man for Luc Besson that came out in theaters. That won the Audience Award at the Venice International Film Festival. And I did June and John, which hasn't been released yet, but should be being released hopefully this summer. That's also for Luc Besson, who I adore. We have a really good relationship. And I'm doing a third movie for him called Disorder that I'm casting right now. And then I did one for BET called Christmas Angel. And then I did a wonderful one that went to Cannes called The Harvest, which is about a group of Hmong family. And when they called me, I didn't know what Hmong was. Like, I had no idea. They called me. They said, "Do you cast Hmong people?" And I said, "Hang on, let me call you back in 5 minutes." And I hung up and I looked at Hmong people, like, what is that? And then I called them back and go, "Yeah, I cast Hmong people," because I knew what it was. So now I'm very familiar with the culture.
So what is it?
It's a group of Asian people that live in like Southeast China, Laos, Vietnam. It's just it's a whole culture of people called Hmong. It's Hmong, but it's pronounced Hmong. And they have their own language, their own religion, their own. I mean, it's a whole culture that I didn't even know existed. But so I learned about that from casting, so that was really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about the casting process in 2024? Did anything change?
Yeah, self-tapes have taken over, and I really don't like self-tapes. I don't know how many takes it took an actor to get to that one take. So was it 75 or was that his first take? I don't know. I like to work with people in the room. I like to be able to redirect them because I'm in the director's head. The actor's not. So no matter what I put in the description, I know more than the actor does about what the director wants. So I can actually direct them to be what the director wants, whereas an actor on his own can't do that. And I like to just smell people. I want to know what they smell like. Do they have body odor? I want to know.
And if they are willing to take directions?
Well, yeah, can they be directed?
Yeah.
And it's hard enough right now. I mean, because I'm casting for Paris, we do a ton of self-tapes and then we've been doing callbacks on Zoom. But it's still hard to redirect them because of issues with connectivity going in and out, and it'll freeze sometimes. And you try to redirect someone, and it'll just completely freeze. So until the internet gets to be perfect, and I live up in the mountains, so I have shoddy internet anyway. But it's usually not mine going out; it's other people's going out. But it's horrible.
Yeah. So self-taping is taken over right now.
Yeah, mostly. I haven't done commercials in quite a while. I used to do a lot of commercials and music videos, but I haven't really done them lately. I've been doing mostly movies.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just as bad for commercials. I know a lot of them are starting to come back in person, which is good. And then the last movie, the one I'm working on now, we did do some in-person auditions when the director flew in from Paris.
Okay.
But then lately it's been self-tapes. I mean, I've seen 1,000 people for this movie. It's making me insane.
Oh, wow. 1,000.
Yeah. I've gone through 10 or 15,000 headshots to see 1,000 people. And we're not there yet. So it's the bane of my existence right now.
So even for the callbacks, is it still self-tape or they have
No,
to
we're doing Zoom
Zoom?
or EcoCast Live, which is the Breakdown Services version of Zoom.
Okay. But nothing in person?
Not for that job because the director's in France.
Okay.
But in LA, I'm sure the next thing I do in LA, hopefully we'll have live callbacks.
Well, okay.
I mean, it's just so important to be able to see if you can direct them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in person is better. It's more convenient for the actor to do the self-tape because they can do it anytime.
Right, and they don't have to leave the house.
Exactly.
But frankly, it's kind of a lot to put on actors that they have to be their own lighting designer and they have to be their own sound person and they have to do their own editing. I mean, I think it's very unfair to the actors.
I agree. I think in person is a lot better.
Yeah.
You see the person, in front of you, and you can, like you said, direct them, and it's not just a self-tape.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, you don't know how many times it took them to get that one performance.
Yeah, yeah. And what exactly do you look at an actor when you look at the tapes?
Preparation is a key thing. Are they prepared? Are they off book? And the Screen Actors Guild just came up with a new rule that we can't ask you to be off book. But if you're not off book, you're not even being considered. If you're sitting there holding the script, reading your lines, you're not going to get the job. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they came up with that rule because it's not going to help. Any actor I've had actors already tell me I don't have to be off book. And I'm like, well, then you're just not going to get the job. But I can't even say that. So I just don't say anything.
Okay. So they have to be off book.
If you want to get the job, you do. Because and the first thing an actor should do to prepare is get off book. Because the words are the least important part of acting. I mean, they're the most important part, of course, to know the words word for word. You should know every word for word. Some writer got paid a lot of money to write these words, and especially for commercials, they get paid a lot of money to write every single word. So make sure you're off book word for word. But you can't have any fun until you've got the words in your head. Because then all the other stuff comes up, the subtext and the motivation and all the other things that you use as an actor to portray the relationship, which is what you're trying to portray. Because the relationship between people and even between animals and people and a soccer ball and people, whatever it is, whatever that relationship is, that's what makes a movie interesting. We want to see these relationships. We want to fall in love with every one of our characters. Even if they're the bad guy, we still want to love them. Mm-hmm. And the only way to do that is to have a relationship with the actor. And that's really hard as an actor to do because sometimes you have a reader that's barely giving you the lines, and yet you still have to, in your eyes, have something going on to make us think you're having a relationship with this person.
Exactly. And sometimes some actors, they don't have a reader and they record their voice.
Right.
Is that okay?
Worst case scenario, yeah. I mean, do it. But have a relationship with an eye line in the room where, for theatrical, for movies, you're off camera. For commercials, you're right in the camera. So anytime you're auditioning for a movie or television, put your eye line right to the side of the camera and try to, have a person there. It helps to have a person there. If not, find a spot on the wall.
Okay. All right. So it's they can still do it, but
it's doable, but it's much better to have a person there.
Okay, so if they don't have a person, do they have a chance of booking the job?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. As long as they still have the relationship in their eyes.
Okay.
You can have a relationship with a wall. I mean, you can look at the wall and fall in love with the wall.
Or a picture.
Or whatever it is. Just have something where your eyes are lighting up. To hate that person, love, hate, kill, want to have sex with. I mean, those are all really strong choices. And I think as an actor, if you're not making a strong choice in an audition, you're not even playing.
Well, there's a question about that. If they're making a strong choice, but it's the wrong choice because it's self-tape.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, because we can redirect you in callbacks.
Okay.
We want to see that you can act.
The behavior.
Yeah, that you've got a relationship with whatever it is and that your acting ability is up to par. That's why getting off book is so important, because we can't tell if you can act if you're just sitting there reading.
I see.
And you can still hold the sides in an audition. You should hold the sides, but you shouldn't refer to them unless you go up and forget your lines. And then in that case, find the line real quick and look down and grab it and look at it.
Oh, okay, I see. So you can hold the sides.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
But try not to read the signs.
Don't read the sides.
Mm-hmm.
The sides. Don't read them. Don't just sit there and read them off the page, because that's not acting. That's reading.
Gotcha. And do you see a difference between theater actors and TV actors?
Totally. Yeah. It's a different genre completely. I mean, theater is very large, and you're trying to hit the last person in the balcony. In television and film, it's very small, because you're only having a relationship with somebody 3 feet in front of you.
Exactly.
Or less.
And it shows when they audition?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, theater auditions are big, and they're loud because they have to project across the room.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a different, and they make a wide sweeping motion instead of just a little motion, because they're trying to show all this stuff to the back of the room.
And do you have like theater actors come to audition for a TV show?
I prefer theater actors.
Do you prefer theater?
Yeah, especially New York trained actors. LA theater actors are great. I prefer theater actors because if they can do the same thing over and over every night and twice on Sunday, then I know that they can do their film work, because they can do the same scene over and over the same way. And theater actors will memorize which hand they lifted when they said this word, and when they took a drink, when they put a French fry in their mouth. I mean, theater actors are so particular about that kind of thing, and you have to have that for film, because you have to do the same thing over and over again.
So when you look at the actor's resume, what do you look for?
Training mostly. Obviously, I look to see that they've done stuff, but not everybody's done stuff. I mean, some people are brand new, and if they have great training and they've worked as an extra, usually you don't put extra work on your resume unless you have nothing else, and then put extra work on your resume, and only if you have nothing else. But you probably did a play in junior high. You probably did a play in high school. You probably did a play in elementary school. Like, put all that stuff on there. It'll fall off as work as you get real work. But training is the most important thing you can have is training.
Okay. And do you look if they're union, non-union?
I don't care, because I can Taft-Hartley people and put them in the union if I want.
Right.
For most contracts. I mean, the ultra low budget you can't, and the micro low budget SAG contract you can't Taft-Hartley. And Taft-Hartling is the law that allows people to join a closed union. SAG is a closed union, meaning not everybody can join. You have to have a SAG job to join, and you can't get a SAG job on television without being SAG. But you can do it in independent feature films. I can Taft-Hartley people on modified low-budget movies, which is kind of the lowest budget I'm doing now. I've done so many ultra-low budgets, it's not even funny. But I'm just finally like done with that.
And now a lot of actors, when they do the audition, they don't get feedback. So
No, I don't like to get feedback.
Do you think that's important?
No, because unless you lit something on fire and brought in an armed gun, a loaded gun, you don't need feedback. Feedback is for when you did something horrible, because I'm not going to say, yeah, he did a great job. He didn't get it because his shirt was blue. I have a thing that Billy DeMetta was my partner for 19 years. He was a casting director for like 40 years. He has this little thing that spins, and it says, too young, too old, went another way. So you spin it, and it just lands on one of those things. So that's his idea of feedback. He was too young, he was too old, we went another way. We don't always know why you don't get the job. So getting feedback is a waste of the agent's time and our time, I think.
Okay.
I mean, unless you did something horrible, in which case we will reach out to your agent and say, he came in with no underwear on and just like crazy, which I've seen.
Oh, wow. Some people do that.
The famous kick. Yeah, I was casting with Billy DeMetta, and I was right here, Billy was right there, the camera's in the middle. This older man crashed the audition, and we were casting 30 to 35-year-old buff men, that were martial arts experts. And this guy was like 65. He was really short, he was really thin, and he was very hairy. And he was wearing a fur thong. And he was standing outside. I thought, I got to bring him in, because I knew Billy would kill me. So I brought the guy in, and then he kicked, and his leg went over the camera, and he didn't have underwear on under the thong. And Billy went, no. And I just died laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. So don't crash auditions if you're not right for the part. But if you're at a room and you see a bunch of people that look like you sitting there, you can ask, can I come in on this? You should always have a headshot and resume in your car, in your hand, ready to go. You can hand it to somebody and say, can I come in on this?
I didn't know that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because, I can't tell you, like, I've grabbed people out of elevators. I've met people actors at candle stores. This one actress that I met, I just saw her and I thought, God, she looks perfect for this role. Are you an actress? And she said, yes, I am. She pulled a headshot out of her purse and with a resume on it. She got a 3-picture deal from PureFlix.
Wow. That's good to know. I didn't know we can do that.
Yeah, or get business cards with your headshot and your agent information or something that you can have on you that you can pass along. Okay. But headshots and resumes are very important still.
Okay. All right. And of course, it's essential for the actor to have IMDb, Actors Access, Casting Network. So a lot of people they just put 1 or 2 pictures. They don't have media. What's a good profile to have?
4 to 5 pictures at the most. You need a smiley commercial shot, with teeth. You need serious headshots for theatrical. You should have a couple different looks. And think something while you're shooting your headshots. A really good thing to think is, I know a secret. Because if you look at this, and this is my headshot, or you look at this, you see the difference with the eyes that pop when you think I know a secret. Think something when you're shooting your headshot so that there's something going on in your eyes. I hate you, I love you, I want to kill you, I want to sleep with you, something like that.
Okay. But
that'll make your headshots pop. We get a headshot this big and we get 100 on a page. So if your headshot isn't just your head, like from here to here, then don't do it. We don't want to see a full body shot unless you're a model or a fitness expert or a dancer or something where we need to see a full body shot. And then that would be an extra headshot. But it shouldn't be your main headshot because we want your eyes to pop.
Okay. And that's for the headshots. What about media? For
media, you got to have something up. We want to see what you look like and what you sound like. So it should be recent. It should start on you. The video should start on you. It should be under 2 minutes long. You can split, if you have a bunch of media, you can split them up on all the services into different videos, like comedy reel, theater reel, film reel, television reel, whatever. If you have nothing, make something with your friend.
Okay.
Shoot it on an iPhone.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be like a professionally made.
No, but I don't have a problem with those services that shoot them.
Okay.
I know they're expensive, and I know that sometimes it's like people say don't bother doing that, but you got to have footage somehow.
Yes.
And I think that short student films are the easiest way to get that stuff done. Like AFI, USC grad students, UCLA grad students. They make amazing short films. And then there are big casting directors that work on those too. So you've helped out one of us.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good to know. And what about the headshots? Do they have to have a slate?
You mean the slate shot?
Yeah.
On Actors Access? Yes, that'll put you higher in the submissions to have Actors Access has something called a slate shot.
Okay.
Which is just saying hi and Dea Vise. And that's it. But you want to say it thinking, I know a secret, or I love you, or I hate you, or I want to kill you, or whatever. But you want to think something when you slate. That's so important. People will fast forward through a boring slate.
Okay.
So you want to think something when you're slating. A slate shot is just a slate. You just say, hi, I'm Dea Vise. And that's it. And you look at the camera. And that'll put you higher in the submissions if you have one of those and a reel. because they come in order of people. If you have a lot of stuff, you're higher in the submissions than people that don't have a reel or a actor slate.
Okay. So headshots, actor slate, media, and of course something that you worked on in the past.
Yeah,
and
your
training.
resume and with your training on it and all that stuff. And then, don't put animals in your headshots. Oh my God, don't do it. Don't put a llama in your headshots. I've seen it. Don't put your hand in your headshots. Because it's literally from here to here.
Yeah.
So don't add things.
Okay. Can we do it from like the chest up?
Yeah, but remember, it's this big.
Okay.
So the more wider you are, the smaller your head is.
Okay.
Yeah, you want your headshot to be like above your breast and right above your head, and have your face. So
Okay.
we don't need a whole outfit. We just need a shirt, mostly. Some agents and managers want you to have like a headshot and a doctor's coat and scrubs and police outfit and all that. To me, that makes you look like an extra. You want to hint at things. And you shouldn't have more than 4 or 5 headshots.
No more than that.
No, because movie stars have 1 headshot. And that's all they have up. They don't have 30 headshots up. And people that have 30 headshots, to me, I think they're professional extras. And that's okay. It's just not what I cast.
Okay. So if they have a lot of headshots, you would just...
Well, and notoriously, there'll be 1 headshot in there that makes them look a lot older. And I'll be like, oh, I see. That's how old he really looks, or how old she really looks. Or, there'll be some, don't screw it up. Don't find a way for us to say no.
Okay.
You want to give us all the tools you can for us to say, yes, this guy.
And talking about the reel, or you said you can break it down to vignettes, or you can make it like a 1 minute or a 2 minute reel. That's fine too.
Yes, 1 to 2 minutes
Okay.
is really all we want to see.
Okay. And you watch the whole 2 minutes? Or?
I usually do because I want to see. Sometimes I'll watch the first 10 seconds and be like, oh, he's great. I'll put him in.
Okay.
And you can also get a no on your first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If it doesn't start on you, and also do it with a person that doesn't look like you. If you're a white 40-year-old guy, don't do it with another white 40-year-old guy, because then sometimes we don't know which one's which.
Oh, okay.
And then if we get confused, we'll just skip you.
Okay.
So you do a woman or somebody of another ethnicity or something.
Okay. And do you recommend actors take headshots once a year, every 6 months?
Yeah, once a year.
Once a year.
At least.
Okay. Because we change in a year.
Yeah, we do. And then like also with beards, like guys grow beards and you'll want a bearded shot and a non-bearded shot.
Okay.
And glasses, with glasses, without glasses.
Okay. So do it with glasses and without glasses?
Yes.
Okay. Even though if I don't wear glasses, just do it with glasses.
No. Not if you don't wear glasses. Only if you wear glasses.
Only if
Because I
you-
wear glasses most of the time, but today I'm wearing contacts.
Oh, I see.
So if I was shooting headshots, I would do one with my glasses because I wear my glasses a lot, and one with no glasses because I could wear contacts.
I see. Okay.
But no, if you don't wear glasses, don't wear glasses.
Okay. And you teach acting, right?
I do. I teach at the John Ruskin Theater Group, which is in Santa Monica, and they teach the Meisner program. They have a 2-year Meisner program, which is just unbelievable. And I teach audition technique there, and then I also teach scene study for the master class. That's had people like Sir Anthony Hopkins come in and teach, and all these guests. Paul Reddy teaches there a lot. I teach there a lot, and then I also teach audition technique at John Ruskin. I also have my own classes on Zoom. When I'm not busy, I'll teach, but if I'm super busy, I won't do it.
That's excellent. Hey, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And what do you think about AI? Is it going to have anything to do with the casting process? Or
Well, there's nothing. We don't cast AI. I mean, it has nothing to do with us.
has nothing to do with casting?
No, at this point,
At this
I mean,
okay.
we don't really. I mean, a designer would do it probably rather than a casting director. I don't know what that means for the future of casting directors. I don't know. I mean, the problem with AI is that no matter what we do, we can't program beings on a screen to look like a human being on a screen.
Which is good.
which is good. And it's the same with writing. Like the AI writing will never be as good as the human writing because we have the human experience, and AI does not have the human experience. And AI is only as good as the programmers,
That's true.
and it can take off and create its own things, but it can only create what it knows from the programmers. So,
I see. It's not creative on its own.
well, it kind of is, but I mean, it will create things, but it all comes from people.
Okay.
But it still doesn't have that human touch that makes, it doesn't have that moment when she looks at him and says, you complete me. Or when he says that to her, actually, you complete me. I mean, it's like, oh my God, that doesn't happen in AI. And if it does, it's not quite there yet. So, I mean, it could happen, but it's not quite there yet. So we'll see what happens.
If an actor comes in and he's doing really well, but the reader is not giving him anything, do you have a tip for the actor on what to
Just ignore them and just have the scene with their eyes. I mean, you can't rely on the reader to give you what you need as an actor. You've got to be able to come up with it on your own.
Okay, because a lot of people, they say, oh, you need the human connection, but if there's no connection with the reader, you got to make it up.
Yeah, you've got to make up the connection. Because sometimes you're reading with a wall. And, and sometimes in a movie, when you're doing a scene, they might have taken the star out and put in a stand-in, and they're not giving you anything, and you still have to have the scene. So the actor is required to be there on their own volition, whatever, giving everything they have to whatever they have to work off of.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, don't let a bad reader throw you, because there are a lot of bad readers out there, and and there's even actors that work as readers that will try to throw you, which isn't good, but it happens.
Okay.
And you don't want to let that happen either.
Okay. And can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, just call me. I'm listed. Go on IMDb Pro. Call me or email me.
Okay. So all the information on IMDb.
Yeah, it's on IMDb Pro, and you can reach me. Just email me or call me.
Okay.
I'm easy.
That's
I'm my door's open to actors, because without actors, I don't have a job.
Okay.
So to me, actors are the most important people in the room. And I hope that actors never forget that they're the most important people in the room. Don't let any casting director in a bad mood throw you, because it really is your audition. And we didn't call you in because we were bored. We called you in because we want you to get the job. Because once you get the job, then I can move on to the next character.
Exactly.
So we want everybody in the room to get the job, and that's why feedback doesn't matter. We're just trying to fill that role. And it really is, casting is like painting with people. You're putting together the look and the sound and the vibe and the relationships. You're putting it all together in this 3-dimensional movie, and it's just like painting with people. That's how I've always described it.
Okay. And who makes the decision? Is it the producer, the director?
It depends. Sometimes it's the director. Most of the time it's the director, but sometimes, like an ad agency, it's the client. Like say the client's Tide or Procter and Gamble for Tide, they're going to make the decision, but the director has a lot of power. So when you walk into an audition, if you're doing an in-person audition, you can vibe out just by feeling around who the director is. And you want to walk in, see the director, acknowledge him, and then look at the camera operator, and then be ready to go. Because the director is king or queen generally, but it depends. I mean, I've made the decision myself because they don't know who to pick. So I've said, no, go with John Doe, because he'll blow you away. And John Doe really will blow you away.
And you get down to how many people?
We start with like 3,000 per role, and then I narrow it down to like 20, and then I'll get auditions from like 15 of those, send those to the director. They'll narrow it down to like 3, and we'll call them back, and then they'll pick one.
Okay.
So it's very competitive.
It is.
That's why your headshots matter so much. That's why your slates matter so much.
So now you received 3,000 auditions, self-tape auditions, and you watch
No. 3,000 submissions of headshots.
Okay.
No, and then we go through and pick who we want to see, and then we'll pick like 20 I used to, for in-person auditions, I see about 10.
Okay.
For self-tape auditions, I try to see more because I can.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives people more of a shot. So it'll be like 10 to 20 for self-tapes. And then I'll send those to the director and producer.
Oh, okay.
And then whoever's in charge will make the decision.
Okay.
Or they'll ask me, which one do you think? And I'll narrow it down.
So what do you think about FICOR?
I think financial core is a bold move against the union. It weakens the union and it doesn't help the actor. I mean, the only thing it allows you to do, you don't get to vote, you don't get the screeners, and you have financial core on your resume, which a lot of casting directors look down on, but they won't tell you that they look down on it. And they may not call you in for SAG jobs, but they'll never tell you that they won't do that. I think you're allowed to do non-union work with it. But who wants to do non-union work? I mean, if you're an actor, you want to be in the best with the best in the business, which is the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA. You want to be a member of that. You don't want to be a financial core member, unless you just want to do non-union and then stay non-union. That's how I feel about it.
A lot of agents, they say stay, FICOR, so this way they can book you on non-union jobs and they can make money.
Yeah, and then you don't make residuals. I mean, oh my God, the people at Blair Witch Project, there was a huge article in Daily Variety about it. They did all that work non-union for $500 a week, and then they weren't allowed to talk about it. They made no money on merchandise. The movie made $281 million at the box office, and they made $1,500 each. And nothing else afterwards. That's what non-union gets you.
Yeah. You have to be careful with that.
So go union.
Go union. I'm all about the union.
Pom-poms.
I'm all about the union. Absolutely. I support the union. Because the way to go is union.
Yeah, and they're there to protect you. And that's the only protection an actor has. The state says they'll protect you, but it's really hard to get them to help. And if you've ever done a non-union job and didn't get paid, trying to go after them with the state is really hard. But if you do a union job and you don't get paid, you call SAG, they'll get you paid or upgraded or whatever the situation is. So yeah, I say go union.
Yeah. And is there anything else you would like to add?
I don't know anything else. I mean, I know a lot. I know all of it. So like if you need help, just call me, I'm always around. I'm very anti-pay to play. I don't think you should have to pay for information. I think it should be free. I mean, classes obviously are different. Casting directors, there's some really good casting director teachers out there. But I'm against paying to meet people. Mm-hmm. I think that's a scam.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the casting director workshop.
Yeah, that's a big scam. And that got shut down in 2017 when 27 people were charged with violating California State Labor Code AB 1319, which says you can't be paid to watch an actor do a scene without any feedback. I mean, nothing. You can't just watch them do a scene and take $20, mm-hmm. And that's what was happening before. It's happening again, not as bad, but it's sort of reared its ugly head again. But
and nothing comes out of it. Like actors, they don't get jobs.
No, I mean, like 1 out of 10,000 might get an audition. It's such a waste of money. I mean, we used to say you work, they shop.
No,
because you're just paying for an assistant to have extra money.
Okay, so just stay away from them.
Yeah, don't pay to play.
Okay.
No.
And some people, they do it. Some casting directors or managers, they do it on Instagram, and they charge money, and they just talk to actors, and they give them some advice, and so I've seen it happen.
The advice wants to be free.
Okay.
I teach 3-hour courses. I do 3-hour courses when I do teach. There's some really great casting directors that do teach, and that were actors. You don't want to take a class from somebody that was never an actor. First of all, what are they going to teach you? Mm-hmm. They don't know how to act. You want to study from somebody that was an actor. I was an actor for 35 years, and I started when I was a kid. So I know how to teach. I have 2 degrees in acting. I have a bachelor's of fine arts in theater from the University of Texas at Austin. I have an associate's of film acting, fine arts from Katie Conservatory in Dallas. I have a master's of clinical psychology from Antioch University, and I have most of a doctorate in clinical psychology from Chicago School. I'm qualified to teach. Make sure that whoever you study with is qualified to teach you. If they're an assistant to an assistant that just started and just got out of college with a degree in, business, what do they know about the arts? So just buyer beware is what I say with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, advice wants to be free. If you have a question, just call me. I'll answer your question.
Thank you so much, Dee, for doing this. I appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah, I'll see you again.
Thank you so much.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.